Hello, welcome to the Behavioral Activation Enhancing Conscientiousness study. My name is Caitlin Richmond.
And I'm Carissa Ford. So first things first, we just want to suggest that you print off this packet that we will be going through with you for the next 7 or 10 minutes. It's easy to follow along that way, so we suggest that you go ahead and print off the packet. As a side note, we are going to be pausing through each section, so you are allowed to pause this video. And when we mean section, we mean attachment 1. We'll go through the activity for that attachment, and then we'll do a short little pause, and then we'll go on with activity 2, and so on. Second, please take the time now to open up the Qualtrics link if you haven't done so already to complete the consent form and to complete the surveys as well. And we'll also do a pause right here because we want you to be sure to open that link and complete the consent forms. So, see you soon.
All right, thank you for filling out the informed consent and for doing the preliminary surveys. We are going to get started with attachment 1, which is the daily activity record. Let's turn to this page. It looks just like this. So the study is going to take a total of 5 weeks, but your first week is going to be focused on the daily activity record. So the main focus of the study is to increase your healthy behavior. And so to get started with that, it's important to get an accurate assessment of your daily schedule of activities. So for the first week, I'd like you to objectively record your current activity level by keeping a record of all activities you engage in, whether it be something insignificant such as sleeping or watching television, or maybe something like more complex. So try to be as accurate and thorough as possible. So as you can see, it goes from Monday through Sunday and it's hourly. So for each hour, you can just jot down some things you are doing. And this helps you get kind of a baseline of what your activities that you normally do or something that's kind of your common lifestyle.
Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and proceed with attachment 2, which looks like this. Okay, so with that, as a first step, you must determine the activities that you would like to target. In determining these activities, you might want to consider the list on attachment, Appendix A. We're just going to call 2B Appendix A. So if you want to flip to this, there are about 2 or 3 pages that give you a plethora of activities that you can choose from. So go ahead and check that out if you need help coming up with activities to do.
We'll give you a few moments for that. All right. So next we can turn to attachment 3, which is the activity identification rating sheet. So it's going to look just like this. All right. And you will need to select 15 activities designed to help you in the area that you've chosen. So if you look back on attachment 2, there's about 10 different areas. And so you can kind of target some areas that you would like to work in. So these activities that are going to help you target those areas need to be observable and measurable by others. So an example that we thought of to explain that would be, say that you want to target the area of social relationships, and you wanted to do the goal of, I would like to think more positively about my coworkers. That wouldn't be a good goal because it's not observable by others. In addition to that, if you were to say, okay, I would like to be nicer to my coworkers, that would not be measurable because it has to be something that you can kind of pinpoint how many times that you are engaging in that activity. So maybe a good goal would be, I would like to say 3 encouraging comments to my coworkers this week. You don't have to do that goal. That's just an example. In addition to that, you will need to select activities of various difficulties. So some may be very simple and some may be a little bit more difficult to complete. So 3 of the activities should be taken from activities you already complete on a regular basis. And so you can find those activities from that week of recording activities on your daily activity record. So you can kind of see okay, I do this a lot. So I put those activities on that ranking sheet. And then after you've written down the activities, the 15 that you do, you will need to rank them from 1 being least difficult to 15 most difficult. So again, you can look back on Appendix A, and there's like so many different types of activities, and you can choose some of those if you're having difficulties coming up with one. So I'll give you a few minutes to write down your activities and rank them.
All right, so now we're going to move on to attachment 4, and it looks just like this. Perfect. Okay, so in that attachment, you are to, after you have constructed and ranked your list of activities, you are to assign the first 3, which is the easiest activities, on level 1 attachment using the activity hierarchy, which, before I go on, looks like this. This is just a sample of someone's hierarchy that they've made. In no way or shape or form do you have to use that. Just an example. Okay, and continuing on, 4 through 6 will be level 2 in the hierarchy. 7 through 9 will be level 3. 10 through 12 will be level 4. And the 13th through 15th activities will be level 5. Again, you can see Appendix B, the sample activity hierarchy, for an example. I'll give you a few seconds or minutes to fill that out, so go ahead.
All right, now that you've filled out your hierarchy, we can take a look at attachment 5, which is the behavioral checklist. So you will need to print out 4 copies of this sheet for each week that you will be working on them. And so this is what it looks like. So you'll need one for each week. It looks very similar to your daily activity record, but there's going to be a different method to complete this. So you are going to first list your activities in the activity column, and then in that number column, you list the rank that you had assigned to that activity. So each day you have 3 choices. There's Y, N, and G. Y stands for yes, I have completed that activity on this day. No stands for no, I have not completed this activity on this day. And G stands for goal. So your activities might be, say, I would like to work out 3 times a week. So once you circled yes on 3 days, you would also circle goal as you've completed that goal. And you can still continue to engage in that behavior throughout the week, but also note how many goals you reach during the week. So keep that in mind.
Okay, now we're going to go on to rewards list, which is attachment 6, and it looks like this. So, it is important to reward yourself for achieving your weekly goals. Scheduling rewards each week gives you something to look forward to and provides motivation for completing your behavior checklist. The rewards that you choose should be attainable and within your control. So some examples that we decided to come up with is not planning a weekly cruise. I can't afford that. And I know that that's not an attainable goal. So that's just an example of something that is great to do, but per se not every week. And then an example of a good goal is watching 2 episodes of your favorite series on TV. So if you have Netflix, instead of watching the entire series, for that 1 week that you completed your goals, you could watch like 2 episodes. So the instant gratification, kind of like delaying that. So you could like finish an entire season in a month, and that's exciting and healthy and a reward. So yeah, but your rewards can be whatever you choose. So we'll give you a few seconds to go through that.
All right, so let's turn to the last attachment in your packet, which is attachment 7. So although there is no substitute for your own motivation, your chances of reaching your goals are improved when your environment is supportive of healthy behavior. So I would encourage you to maybe sit down with a family member or a friend, kind of discuss what activities you'd like to increase in and what you are targeting, and fill out this contract with them. It looks just like this. So you can fill out by your name, will attempt to engage in the following healthy behaviors. You don't have to list all of them out. I would recommend saying see attachment 2, which has all your activities on there. If I do succeed, then since you are rewarding yourself, then I agree to reward myself by, and then you say see attachment 6 because that has all of your rewards on there. And so you will sign it, and your friend or family member will sign that also. And so that is the end of all of the attachments and worksheets that you will need to fill out for now. At the end of 5 weeks, you'll be receiving another email that has the surveys again, which will then complete the study in its full. And we would just really like to thank you for participating. And if you have any questions, you can contact me or Carissa through email, and we can maybe set up a meeting time if that would be necessary for you.
Well, happy behavioring.